That's funny. Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to Thinking Out Loud. It is
Episode number six.
Yes,
Number 6.
Yes. Last week, I hope you guys tuned in.
Yeah.
Episode 5. We're getting much better at this as we go along.
Agreed.
Whoops, hit something.
I was going to say lucky number 6, but it's lucky number 11.
Lucky number 11. Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's pretty fun.
Great film.
There's a lot of great films I haven't seen, and I really still want. I like rewatching. By the way, talking about movies, did you watch? Are you a fan of Zack Snyder, Justice League?
No, honestly.
HBO Max has just released.
I mean, I feel like if I looked up who Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I looked him up, I would know who he is.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen his movies. 300.
Oh yeah.
300, Watchmen.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Sucker Punch he worked on. I believe he did that one also. And he released his 4-hour cut of the Justice League.
Fuck me.
Yeah. 4-hour cut on HBO Max. It's expensive as fuck. It's a $15 subscription fee with no free trial. Before,
but at least you get to rewatch Game of Thrones.
Fuck. Honestly, I would rewatch it up until the Red Wedding, and that's it. Because right there, it's where like it really captivates me. Because after that,
into the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding.
I feel like there was still more to the show after the Red Wedding.
Yeah, like a whole nother season of solid content. Yeah, real good stuff. Yeah. Especially when they're like building up to when John dies and shit. Yeah, that shit's good.
It's hilarious because I was literally just on the phone with someone last night talking about Game of Thrones and how the Red Wedding is like the pinnacle for everyone. Like that is literally peak of Game of Thrones.
That's peak. That was peak television at the time. Before that, because I wasn't old enough, like I watched The Sopranos.
My dad loves
like
that
a year
show.
ago. Fucking A, man. That show, like maybe I sound a bit biased, but if you disagree with me, I consider it, well, not just me, but it's considered to be the best work of television, ever, next to The Wire.
Yeah, I was about to say The Wire.
It's debatable, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that Michael B. Jordan came from The Wire.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. Like I'm excited to watch The Wire.
A lot of good actors.
In
The Wire that are now famous.
Yeah. I think that's like the last time that we had great writing on television, because now we have these big budget streaming like movies and shows, and like you're watching it from the comfort of your home, like whenever you want. Before it was like you would have to catch a rerun, or you'd have to go out and buy a DVD box set.
Those were the fucking days, huh?
For real. I barely remember buying VHS tapes. Like barely remember. Having one of the movies I used to watch all the time was The Pharaoh and the King or something.
We used to watch Fantasia all the time.
Fuck, dude.
I think it's called Fantasia.
It is Fantasia.
Yeah,
the Disney movie?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, the Disney movie?
Yeah, the Disney movie, yeah.
I haven't seen it in forever, or I've never seen it at all. And I want to watch it on shrooms or something because it looks like so much fun. Yeah, and on top of all that, I'm a big fan of these kinds of big budget streaming quality shows. Like Disney Plus right now is doing a really good thing.
Yeah.
They did WandaVision. I know you're not a fan of the MCU stuff.
Right.
But, like I was telling you before that, like, you don't have to be a fan of this stuff to enjoy some good television, man. Some good writing. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that. It's like if you dabble it, you put your foot in it, try it out, maybe you like it, maybe you don't.
What's like one show that everybody was like, yo, you gotta watch it, and then you realized that's not good. Or until you didn't think it was.
I didn't like Arrow.
The CW show.
Yeah, I did not like Arrow.
Wow, I actually...
And I feel like I'm going to feel the same way, oddly enough. I feel like I'm going to feel the same way about Vikings, because I've heard so many different reviews about Vikings. And
like good and bad?
No, like great. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something about it just throws me off, that I have a feeling that I'm not going to enjoy it. Literally.
I know that feeling. And you just kind of like... You're like kind of like, fuck, I don't want to get into it. Because I know if I get into it, I'm going to like it. And liking it is just as bad as like...
No. See, it's wrong. Like... Yeah. It's like when you told me to watch Vinland Saga, right?
Yes.
Fucking great show on Amazon.
Saga, don't
if you haven't
sleep
seen
on that.
it,
Vinland
watch it. So
Saga.
good. No, but the point is that you know, when you told me to watch that and I watched the trailer, like I was instantly intrigued on that trailer. I was like, okay, like I can see how this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And then as it played out, it was phenomenal, right? But when I watched Arrow's trailer and then I actually watched the show, I didn't like it.
That's interesting.
And the same with Vikings. Like I'm not a fan of that trailer.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so the same thing. I keep hearing good things about Vikings. haven't watched it because of that thing. It's like I don't
and
know.
Also, it just seems like it's the same concept over and over and over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
and that I'm getting kind of sick of.
Yeah, reinvent the formula, and I think that's what Game of Thrones did, The Sopranos, and I can't speak on The Wire, but from what I know, you know, it's like, you know, main characters die.
Yeah.
You know, that's where this goes. And that's what I think is the best part about these shows. It's like,
agreed.
You've got a main character you build up with, and then they get rid of them.
Literally, that was my problem with, was it Rob Stark who died at the Red Wedding?
His son, yeah.
Rob, yeah, and
right. His mother and their unborn child.
But see, that's my point, right?
His wife, bro, to this day, bro.
They spent a good eight episodes building up that story to the wedding, and then for it to go like that, like it was just fucking wild.
Bro, I remember when the mom, right, Rob's mom, is looking around, she hears the tune.
Yeah.
She hears the tune and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
And I'm like, I remember too where I was watching it on my phone. I was watching it on my phone because I was binging it.
Yeah,
I was binging the fuck out of it to catch up to season 5 or 4, whichever one it was.
Right.
I think it was 4, because season 3 is the Red Wedding.
Yes.
Yeah, 4. It was season 4. I was catching up to season 4. I'm on my fucking iPhone 6 watching the shit out of it. And I'm like, and I'm on the couch. I'm on that black couch still.
The casting couch?
The casting couch. Yeah, I'm on the casting couch. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like so conflicted. I'm like, how does the show pick up from here? Like I had not seen The Sopranos yet. So I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know that there was going to be, like, in my naive head, I was like, oh, this show is gonna like twist and turn somehow, you know, like it's so good. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone did.
Yeah,
unless you read the actual books,
the books, yeah.
And you had an idea.
People who read the books are snobs. They're like, oh no, but in the book it was written way better. It's like, no fucking shit.
But manga and anime does the same shit. So
that's true. There's some instances though where the animation does the manga way more justice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of I don't remember which one I'm thinking of because I was just talking to somebody about this the other day regarding that. This anime, it might have been Black Clover, but I don't really know. Yeah. Because they're gonna be stopping it soon.
I know.
But for good reason.
Bro, we're about to lose Black Clover. We're about to lose Attack on Titan.
Oh. Fuck.
And finally, we're going to get the new season of Demon Slayer after the movie comes out.
Which is great because I've heard so many good things about the movie. Yeah, and that's the thing about watching really good television. Yeah. Is that you set your bars up here, and it's only until you get to like a point where the formula kind of just feels dragged out that you're not interested. It won't captivate you. And I've met people like that who are like, I don't want to watch that show. Yeah. I'm like, oh, dude, you're missing out, right? Yeah. Kind of like the way I told you about WandaVision. It was like, yo, you should definitely check it out. You're like, nah, fuck that shit. Right. Yeah, like I feel the same way about movies too. Oh, okay. Like what's a good one where Avengers Infinity War?
I loved Infinity War actually.
Where they die at the end, that was really cool. Like that cliffhanger was like, holy shit! Like, how the fuck are they gonna come back and do it?
Right. Did you see they told Tom Holland that it was a wedding or something like that?
Oh, for the final scene.
Because you know he can't like keep a secret. Because he's dressed
up in a tuxedo. And
and he's like smiling. He's like, yeah. Well, everyone else looks sad. I love stories like that, like the behind the scenes. It's always fun. That's humanity at the end of the day, right? Like that's when you're like, okay, like that's not just a celebrity anymore. Like that's a very human thing. Yeah. So yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, I like things like that when they like give you the behind the scenes stuff. Like they don't do that anymore, right? You had to go buy a DVD set. Yeah. With the bonus features and stuff. Yeah. Now that stuff is like all on YouTube and shit. Right. Like nobody really. I used to watch the bloopers and I used to like watching bloopers.
No, I think bloopers are hilarious.
Yeah, if the movie's good enough, the bloopers are worth watching. I just remember watching Rush Hour 2 bloopers all the time.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best bloopers. Man, those movies are just classic. I wonder when Rush Hour 4 is ever gonna come out.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think there's a reason to do it. Truthfully, I think they ended strong.
If they do it, it needs to take place here in LA again. Like I want Chris. Yeah. What's his name?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. No, not Chris Rock. It's Is it Chris Rock?
What are you talking about?
Tripping the fuck out? Yeah. Anyways, him.
Jackie's partner?
Yeah.
That's Chris Rock. Wait.
No, see, you're getting it wrong too.
No.
It's not Chris Rock. Look, Rush Hour.
I promise you it is.
Look, I got you. It's I can't believe we don't know.
No, it is. It is. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't ever.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, what are you talking about? James Carter, Chris Tucker. Agent James Carter. Fucking love him, bro. Look at you, almost had me for a second.
Yeah, you're right. You're
like,
right.
Chris Rock, like that's someone else.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, those movies are
that's
fucking
that's
fun.
the weed, you know.
That's the weed.
Yeah, that's the weed that I used to smoke.
It's the yerba mate. Yeah, man. No, I fucking love these movies.
Where is my yerba mate? Actually?
It's behind you. Grab it.
Oh shit!
Careful! Don't drop your mic.
Ow.
I mean, don't haul your mic out. Here, you wanna?
This episode is brought to you guys by yerba mate.
No, it's not. Because they're not paying us.
They will one day.
Yeah, they will. Actually,
you gotta manifest this shit. You feel me?
The secret.
Let's talk about manifestation
talk about
real quick. Yeah, let's do it.
Take the lead.
All fucking.
I'm always taking the lead. Give me a break. Fuck. Go. What do you want to talk about manifest? Because this is a good one. I want to talk about.
Yeah, I love manifestation.
Motherfuckers were like, oh, the secret. Oh, let me close my eyes.
I'll suck a dick.
So I'm just gonna bag on. No, go.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So you're telling me you don't believe in the power to create whatever you can envision?
Not in this dimension.
What?
I'm serious.
But here's the difference between someone who's done psychedelics, and someone who hasn't.
Yes.
Right? Like, I feel like anyone I talk to that's done psychedelics is like, yo, we're in a matrix. This shit is all a simulation.
We live not in a... There's no proof that we live in a matrix. There's proof... I mean, there's evidence and theories that suggest that we live... Well, we live in the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
Where the first, second, and third are like flat, and then one, and then, third. And then the other ones that we can't reach, I think, are beyond our conscious ability because we no longer look inward.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is crazy to me because we know more about our planet than we do about ourselves. Like, I think of it as like an ocean in the mind, and I think that's how consciousness has been represented in movies. It's like this giant ocean because it's deep, unknown, and scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary because you don't know what's in there, especially if you don't know how to swim.
Right. So that's kind of like when they're talking about manifestation, right?
Okay.
They're also, I mean, they're not necessarily saying fully consciousness, but they are saying to a certain extent, like, if you learn to control your brain to the way that you want it to be, then your life will become what you want it to be. Okay. And that will be because for whatever reason, if we are in a matrix, right? Okay. Like, it seems all the numbers start to align when you push towards that thing and when you put all your effort into that thing or when you see it in your mind, quote unquote. There's a famous interview with Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before.
I think we have.
But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, basically every single night he would go to the Hollywood Hills and he would sit outside of the Hollywood Hills in his car and he would imagine himself living in these houses and that he would have this type of money, that he'd be a famous actor, these type of things, right? Basically how he got to where he is today.
He sold his soul.
He might have sold his soul. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there possibly are secret societies that
there are. Yeah.
Well, we don't actually know that. That's all speculation.
Yeah, they're not.
It's literally all speculation.
You're right, because they're secret, right? We wouldn't know because they're secret. Yeah.
Unless you're part of the elite or you are
one of that the few
group.
Yeah.
Then you can confirm, but nobody's ever confirmed it.
Well,
we just speculate on confirmations. There is no actual confirmation. There is. So wait, let me get back to Jim Carrey.
Go back.
So after all this manifestation or envisioning his life a different way or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, he put a timeline down the same way that they say, like, you need to have goals, because when you have an actual goal written out, you push towards it. He put a timeline down that in 5 years, he wanted to have this much amount of money, or he wanted to make this amount of money on a movie because he felt he was going to be a famous actor.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that he wasn't like...
So wait, there's something... Okay, there's two parts to what you said.
Okay.
Him manifesting what he wanted and then writing down what he wanted.
Right.
I think...
That falls into manifestation.
Okay. I don't believe that just putting things down or... I do believe... Okay, so I like the second part you said, I do agree with a lot.
Yeah.
That, and this is proven, like, we're...
When it's written in stone that you're more motivated to do things. Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that if you are struggling with something, and this is hard for me to say because I myself am not perfect.
Right.
And I'm just regurgitating things I've heard. Right. So writing your goals down, having a clear goal, right, helps a lot.
Yeah.
And then also writing down where you don't want to be. Like, what is the worst case scenario? You write that down.
Right.
What is the best case scenario? You write that down. And then you do everything you can to make sure you don't go the other way.
Yeah. Right? Or if you are in your worst case scenario, right? Like if you are at failure, then there's nowhere else to go.
That's a really bad place. You don't want to go there because you're going to hit 40 and then you're not going to know what you're doing.
Well, there's different levels of failure. Like I get what you're saying, but I mean more of like from an academic standpoint, right? When you're doing really terrible in a class and you know you're doing terrible, you know that's as far as you can go. So the only way you can go is up. The same with literally anything in life.
Yes. There's something to that. Like I think like us working on this, right?
Right. Let me ask you this. If you were broke, I'm not talking about like
it's okay.
still able to like live in an apartment or like and you're struggling. I mean, if you were literally broke, like to the point where you had I don't know, maybe $300 in your bank account.
Yeah, okay.
What would your mind be in that point? Would you feel like you've hit failure? Or would you feel like you're so close to failure?
But is this after I've already tried manifesting what I wanted? When I say manifest,
right?
Do you want to use your definition of manifesting where, you know, if you're visualizing things, you're in an area and you're like doing the whole thing about The Secret, you know, where you put things on a board and you're manifesting them. Like, I really want a Lamborghini.
Right, a vision board and all that.
Vision board, yeah. Which I think, and just to be clear, I honestly don't believe in that, but I think there's some truth to what you just said in terms of like writing your goals down.
Yeah.
And then writing where you don't want
But isn't that the same as a vision board?
No, because I think words are different than images, right? Visualizing something versus writing your words out.
So you believe like a picture can tell 1,000 words, but an actual book is what you would rather get your information from?
I think like physically writing out like a journal about the way you feel and maybe confronting memories that you have yet to come to terms with. If you write them down, this again, I'm just regurgitating things I've heard.
Yeah.
If you write them down and you write them out and you complete them on paper, then you kind of reflect and you realize you're like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's what happened. Or like, that's how I see it. And then you write away from that. You write, so 10 years from now, I want our podcast to be doing 1 million views a month.
Right.
Which is basically like a full-time job. Right. If we're doing 1 million views a month.
I mean, it also has to be a realistic goal at the same time.
Yeah, like let's say I was like, okay, I want us to
like
do...
maybe, you know, maybe if our standpoint was getting 1,000 views a day, right, then that's a realistic goal.
Right now, yes, it is. It is a realistic goal right now.
To get 10 million views in 10 months?
Sorry, what did you say? I heard you say 10. I heard you say 1,000.
Yeah. I'm saying if we had 1,000 views a day right now, right, and then 10 months you want 10 million views... in overall, then that's, I wouldn't say that's fully realistic, but that's doable to a certain extent. But my point is you have to start it somewhere where it's a realistic thing.
Yes, we've started this, right? How many people look at us or look at their favorite show or talk show and they're like, they're just talking. Right. I could do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can just sit in front of a camera and talk for an hour and a half.
I mean, that's why we started this.
Right. And no, I mean, like,
to a certain extent.
And I'm glad that I found somebody like you who can talk and has a bit of intelligence.
Thanks.
A bit. No,
I appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm getting smarter each time on here.
Every time we talk, I feel like I unlock a new like brain cell, or like a neuron just grows. You know, like in video games when you like unlock something.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
All right.
Every time we talk.
I'm leveling you up.
We're leveling each other up, right? And eventually we're gonna be evolving our whole clan up, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. Now I see.
What's the name of our clan?
Thinking out loud.
TOL.
TOL, yeah. The TOL crew.
OTK. TOL.
TOL. OTK, yeah. TOL, yeah. I mean,
imagine if we get to that point.
We will. No, I want you. I've got, dude. My brain.
I'm gonna start manifesting this shit.
You better, bro. You're the one manifesting.
I haven't manifested shit for this, but I'm actually going to start, and we're going to see the numbers. Watch.
What I want us to do with this is I want us to bring on people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I want us to bring traction. Look, maybe if we haven't made it clear, like we're doing this because, I'm also doing this because
we're getting the vaccine soon. So
the vaccine?
Yeah, the vaccine.
I don't want a microchip yet. Oh, I'd rather get a Neuralink before I get my microchip. No, but hold on. Let's not.
Yeah. Go on.
What we're really trying to talk about, because we're really having fun, even though I'm a bit of a downer, and I feel bad for wasting Nick's time. Because
this guy's the biggest devil's advocate I know.
Biggest devil's advocate, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Now,
but it levels me up,
and it levels me up too, because it checks me. Like we're so young. Like it's obvious when we're talking out of turn, or we talk to each other in a manner that maybe isn't the most respectful, but in a way that we're friends. Because I'm gonna use this example because I like to joke. My sense of humor is dry and dark, right? If you haven't noticed, and if you don't know me, so if I say something that seems a bit extreme, or it doesn't come out right, maybe I was trying to be funny and it didn't come out right, and you're like,
so you're socially awkward.
I can be socially awkward, except. Yeah, like right now I'm a bit socially awkward, especially now that we can't approach people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like manifest.
You can. Someone would just be like, "Yo, get the fuck away from me!" Like 6 feet, bro.
Like, how do you approach? Well, look, we'll touch on that. I want us to manifest this so that we can. For me, I'll explain what I want out of this, and it's, and this is kind of the part of that. Like some of my favorite things to do. Is to learn more about the things I don't know. Only about the things that I'm interested in. And I think that's fair, because a lot of the time I'm interested in things that I think to myself, I'm like, why do I find this interesting?
Yeah.
Like sleep. Like last week we talked about sleep.
Yeah.
There's something about sleep that fascinates me, because it's the only time human beings are vulnerable, right?
So for someone who doesn't get much sleep, it's pretty interesting that you're fascinated by it.
Yeah, because I've had trouble with sleep all my life.
Okay.
And I think that, I don't know where it comes from. Maybe I have a condition. I haven't been to the doctor in forever. Should probably get like a brain scan or something.
Why have you not been to the doctor in forever?
I don't know, man. I'm like...
You don't have insurance?
I did. I don't know if I still do. I reported my taxes. They asked me if I did. I just said no. And they waived the penalty, which is fine, because I didn't have to pay.
Yeah?
Now...
That is not a confirmation for the IRS, by the way.
Nah, the only person... Yeah, no, they accepted my returns already. Manifesting this podcast for me is not about that, because I believe in the work that you have to put in. Like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Relatively.
Both of my feet are in the water.
If you were all in, you'd be able to wake up at 10 a.m.
That's true.
But...
Yeah, so I'm like 90% all in. I keep saying I'm all in, but I'm 90% all in, because clearly I'm not waking up on time.
Yeah. I'm going to start manifesting you wake the fuck up.
Please. Manifesting, pray. Like, fuck.
No, but here's the other thing about manifestation too, right? Is they say that you can't manifest other people. Like, you can only manifest your environment. Okay. So if I want to wake up at 10 a.m. every day, I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't wake up at 10 a.m. every day. But I'm saying, like, if I wanted to get started at 10 a.m. every day, I can do that. But it would be different than if you wanted to do it. Like, if you want to do it, you have to tell yourself, yo, I want to do this, right? Yeah. It's the same way that they say, before you go to bed, if you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up with a lot of energy tomorrow morning, I'm going to work out as soon as I wake up, these type of things, you will literally wake up with that thought process.
Like a mental exercise.
Yeah, it's why if you go to sleep
Yeah.
After you've studied for 5 to 6 hours or 4 to 5 or whatever, right? Like it's education based.
Yeah.
When you wake up or when you go to sleep, all you can think about is what you studied. That is the most wild shit to me. Have you ever
that should never work for me. What's up? I'm sorry.
Have you ever studied that hard, or like have you ever gone to sleep with literal like? Okay, for instance,
when embarrassed to say, but I'm not really good at studying. Like,
I don't think that's an embarrassing thing. I think that's something you work on.
That's true. It's a skill, man. Because we talked about it last time, right? Yeah. That people don't have the energy. Like there are some specific people who can actually sit down and study their ass off for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
Any more than that, I don't believe them. Yeah. Like I don't believe you can sit down for 8 hours in a library and read. I understand maybe you're fidgeting, maybe you take 20 minutes, you take a break here and there. Yeah. You're trying to retain information, but at some point you're just copywriting. You're kind of just. You're not retaining information. You're just absorbing it.
I mean, studying is also just not all of creating your notes over. Mm-hmm. It's not just reading your notes. It's literally making your notes the way that you can understand in your mind. Yeah. But is also good enough to pass academic wise.
Yeah, I think.
Like I'm great at writing. I'll fucking write a book like that. I mean, I won't write a book, but I'm saying like I can write.
Yeah, everybody can write a book, but just not every book will be good.
Right. But I'm saying like I'll write a great fucking book if I really take my time and write something. But I'm saying when it comes to like the actual memory retention, I'm terrible at it, bro.
Yeah.
So bad.
And see, that's the thing. I've always had issues with retention, like studying and stuff. And that's why like when we talked about weed last time in the stigma, please go check out the last episode if you didn't see. We talked a little bit about, how it affects us, just anecdotal stuff. But I've always just had issues with that kind of stuff. I think like if my creative endeavors were nurtured more early on, I would have been a kind of artist or something. I'm a different kind of artist, or I would have started this much sooner.
Yeah.
Like
I agree with that.
There was a lot of things I thought of much sooner, but I didn't act on them.
Right.
And I don't feel bad anymore. I used to feel so fucking bad that I didn't start something earlier. But now I'm realizing, like, stop that kind of thinking.
Yeah, for sure. That thinking. Like, that's negativity, bro. That's terrible. Like, the law of attraction, it says anything that is negative, and the more thought you put into your negative thoughts, the more negative you get into your life.
There is truth and positive reinforcement. Every time we do this and we upload, and I'm like, wow, great, there's this positive feedback loop, right? I feel it like in the back of my brain, right? The serotonin, the dopamine just rushing through, like, hey, like you're doing something you should be on track for. Yeah, like deja vu. Like that's my opinion on deja vu. Like when I get deja vu, I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. That's how it's always been for me. Like, oh, you must be...
Right, we talked about this. We have different views towards deja vu.
That's kind of how I saw it. If we're thinking about stuff that we can't explain and you feel like there's some external forces, like if your manifestation abilities, whatever your abilities, like what are you, a fucking X-Men? Things like that. Then I feel like if you work hard and maybe you attribute your labor, the fruits of your labor to like, oh God, my manifestation. Yeah. I still would disagree with you, and I'd say, well, did you not bust your ass off? Some people get lucky. Right. They go viral.
Right.
We might not go viral, so we might have to bust our ass off to build an audience. People have to get to know us.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
It's not. It's not at all because...
I feel like that's more gratifying in the long run anyways. If you look at some of the top artists in the creative industry or the creative industry in general, right?
Yes. Like we talked about
people started from, I wouldn't say rock bottom, but literally nothing, and they just worked at it. Yeah. Look at Picasso, man. Unfortunately, he died, and then he got famous. But that happens with a lot of art. Maybe, someone will look back, and maybe that's what will happen to us. Maybe we'll be dead, and it'll take off. But the beauty behind that is just the fact that, anything you put time into, there will be value, whether it's an external value, like an environment, you get monetization, whatever, or if you feel more wholesome at the end of the day. When we finish these things, I feel so like...
Accomplished?
Yes, accomplished. Yeah. I feel happy. I feel like I got so much off of my mind that I didn't even know I had on my mind.
And it's so healthy.
It's a bliss feeling.
It is, right?
Exactly.
That positive reinforcement, you're like in the beginning, I know... you maybe felt uninclined to be more open.
Yeah, 100%.
But like and in the beginning for me as well, like I had a lot of self-esteem issues. Maybe that's why I didn't start it before. I had a lot of self-esteem issues about.
You had a lot of doubts.
So a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I'm like, okay, if I don't start, I'm going to hit 40 and I will have regretted not having done it when I was 25.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
It's weird. Like I'm talking to my future self. If we're talking about manifesting, I'm looking at my 40-year-old self. I'm like, yo, you'll be living, but you won't be happy.
Yeah.
I won't be happy. And I might, God forbid, I get to a really dark place, and that.
Wait, what the fuck? Are you okay, sir?
No. We're talking because like if we're talking about like the most extreme thing that could happen versus the best thing that could happen, and I want to work towards the best thing.
Right. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I have a saying that anytime I get into a really dark place, and this is kind of what happened after I got out of my 5150.
Yeah.
Right. Is that I realized, shit is terrible in that moment. It really is. And maybe it's terrible for years on ends, and maybe you couldn't get it out. But at the end of the day, there's always something to look forward to. You have to find a silver lining in life. You really do. Through the ashes, you will rise. I say that to myself every fucking day. That is such a good one.
Look, the Phoenix idea.
Yeah.
The idea of the Phoenix.
Exactly. I love it.
You need to shed. You need to shed.
Yeah.
You need to be careful too.
Yeah.
You might
100%.
turn into a monster.
Yeah. I feel like that might happen to me.
It's easy because we all have monsters do exist. I do believe in dragons, and I'll explain the dragon idea.
Okay.
Just a little bit. We're working on trying to keep these episodes shorter, more concise. We really like the idea. We're talking a lot. If it comes to the day, this is just my opinion. Nick, I've been talking to Nick about it. If we do anything longer, and you guys are really enjoying it, I know it's so early in this, but I just want to make sure with you guys, because if you are listening and you make it this far, thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. I know we talk a lot and we ramble, and I know we get off track a lot, but we hope you're being entertained at the end of the day.
Entertained, and I hope you're thinking. Like you're just being provoked to think. Like we say something, you're like, wait, that's not. Like, what is this guy? Like, I hope you're looking at me like, what the fuck does he think? Why is you're not the one, bro. You're not the one.
We need that reaction. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. Come on. Like, I know I'm not the one. You're not the one either. Unless you are the one and you want to come on, talk about it.
Yeah.
So the idea that turning into a monster yourself, going into the depths of your mind and finding what you want, and then understanding that I can be this really bad person and I can also be a really good person.
Yeah.
But there's a balance. Talking about numbers,
mm-hmm.
I know you believe in the idea that certain numbers that manifest themselves are sending you a message.
Yeah, definitely. I believe there are angel numbers. I mean, not everybody does.
So
there's nothing wrong with that.
I keep seeing a series of 2s.
Oh, did you look it up?
I did. I looked it up.
There it is.
Because I had to.
See, we're helping each other. I'm helping you start to get more into your spirituality. Yeah. And I think it's important, man. I truly do. As someone who, like I said, I've been at the bottom of my depths. That's what has kept me here this entire time, is really investing in my spirituality.
Yeah, I think there's something there. And what I found from what I Googled,
getting a little teary-eyed over there, huh?
It's because
it's powerful shit.
It's so stupid, man.
But it's powerful at the same time.
Look, it's not even that. It's just because I'm having a moment of like where I'm connecting dots, where maybe I'm like loosely connecting them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I try not to be paranoid about, because I'm so logical and pragmatic that I'm so fucking naive still sometimes about things that I may think something when it's not true at all.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we're all like that.
So these numbers are like, it means balance.
Okay.
To have
I like
balance. That. The idea that, you're capable of being a really bad person, but you're also capable of being a good person. Like, you're redeemable in some ways.
So that is what it means to you.
That's what it said on Google.
I mean, it means balance, but I mean, the way that you're interpreting it, that's what it means to you. To someone else, it might mean something else.
Interesting.
And that's the idea of spirituality, is that whatever it means to you is what you will feel most prominent with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, like that to me, balance to me is more of not being a good or bad person. It's being a good or bad, like, how am I doing in that moment? Am I balanced? Am I manic? Or am I like super depressed? That's what 222 would mean to me.
Interesting.
Because I get manic a lot.
No, yeah, because I know you do get manic a lot. It's funny to me because I'm like, I get so confused. I'm like, oh, it's right. I get it. He's broken. I mean, we're all broken. I mean, some of the best creatives are some of the most broken. I mean, Stephen King, the dude is an alcoholic. He says he doesn't even remember writing most of his most popular stories. Yeah. Which is crazy to me. Yeah. Now, let's I guess we can wrap it up a little bit on this thought of manifesting. I know that's basically what we talked about this whole time, right? Yeah. Like, which is fine because, some of the best things to talk about are where we're reflecting on what we're doing, who we are, and what exactly
how far we've come, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the RDG for 6-7 months now. I think it's been September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So 6 months. 6 months.
And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm part of the RDG channel itself.
You're part of the RDG crew. I mean,
yeah. Like, I know the majority of the people.
Yeah.
I fuck with them.
And then on top of all that, like, we are, trying to grow. Mm-hmm. We're not doing the most to promote the hell out of it. But we are working towards just building an audience that sticks around. Yeah. Versus just telling the whole world that we have a podcast like everybody else, because everybody and their grandma's got a podcast.
It's like, look, it's quality over quantity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. If you consider this quality, if you're still here watching, once again, we obviously appreciate you. But if you consider this quality, then we appreciate that. And
yeah, or if you find it entertaining, because a lot of the time I find myself listening to other stuff that I like, and I'm like, damn, like, they're just talking. Yeah. They're just talking. Yeah.
But obviously, to a certain extent, these people are usually much wiser, much older.
Sometimes.
They've lived different parts
of
life.
Though. That's why I really want to I want to manifest this.
There we go.
For us to talk to professionals, like people that really are on the fringes of some of the most relevant ideas today. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to talk to astronomers. I want to talk to neuroscience. I want to talk to clinical psychologists. Like, I want to talk to all these people because if we record them with us and we have this, it's a piece of history. Yeah. Like, we're not thinking about it like that.
Dude, this is crazy because I was literally, who was that? Messi. Barcelona just put out a video on Messi, right? Literally from his youth academy all the way to where he is today. Most beautiful thing I've ever watched. Yeah. And in that moment, I just realized, like, I would love to really document my life. I'm not saying I have a spectacular life. I'm not saying I've had, like, the most interesting life, but I would just love to look back on it when I'm older and be like, holy shit, like, I lived. Did something. I lived. Yeah, like, and that's what Messi will get the pleasure to do. And that, to me, is like, that's the one reason I believe he will never leave Barcelona.
He's an alien. So he's got
an Otsuki or what?
He's an Otsutsuki. He's an Otsutsuki. That's funny.
Shout out Boruto if you've seen it.
Boruto, fucking trash ass.
It's getting a lot better if you are watching though.
Fucking Kawaki.
Yeah, Kawaki's a beast.
Kawaki more like
Otsutsuki, not Otsuki. Yeah.
Yeah. And
but you really believe Messi is like part of that?
Nah,
different.
He's human.
Because some people believe lizard people, aliens. There's what are they called? The like Sumerians or some shit like that.
I am like
the white beard people.
I don't want to say.
I love conspiracy theories. All right.
The white bearded people.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay, I don't know about that, but I want to say this. I want to say that for sure. Like, I do believe in interdimensional beings. I do believe that that whatever levels of dimension exist above us, that is where you literally can manifest things just out of thin air. Like, if I was just like going like this and just drawing, or like I said, all right, I want a pencil. Yeah. Boom. Like, that's like the devil word magic, when he's like just saying shit, bro. I remember when that was introduced, it was just so heavy, bro. He was just talking. Magic. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Holy shit.
What do you say? He was like swords and some shit, and he just shot them out the air.
Bro, so good.
Crazy.
But yeah, so
We should really at some point reach out to like an anime director,
mangaka,
or or mangaka. I want to pick their brain just to see like how the fuck did they come up with that.
You know what? That's a good topic for another day. But I just want to say, like, on top of that, like, you're right. If you've ever seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, you probably haven't.
Yeah, you've introduced me.
Yeah, I didn't love
it. But who knows?
It's a psychological show, and the creator basically said this.
Mm.
What is the biggest trope in anime? Real quick. It's always a teenager.
Yeah.
In high school.
Right.
Who has to go through something super traumatic.
Right.
And they have this paradigm shift.
They level up.
Naruto, it's like 12 years old, orphaned. Considered to be like this monster
hated by his village.
Considered a monster of the village. My Hero Academia, Deku. He's like
weak.
13, 14.
Yeah.
But has to take on the responsibility of the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This paradigm shift. Like, people die. Attack on Titan. Eren is only like 17, 18 right now in the final season. Without giving anything away.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like, you're a kid. You're a kid.
I mean, he saw his mom get eaten.
Right. Traumatic stuff. The guy who did Evangelion.
But that's
Hunter, gone, 12 years old, goes off on his own. Ash Ketchum, 10 years old, goes off on his own.
Yeah. But
crazy.
But that's the beauty. Fuck, where was it? I had it in my mind. You're good.
For apologizing, mother.
Yeah, where's the jar, bro? Run me my 5.
Fucking A, man. I gotta. I'll just buy a coffee.
All right,
we'll call it coffee for now while I get the jar. A nice jar. I'm gonna try to make an arts and crafty one. Yeah. Sorry, continue. Wherever you were going with it, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going. Okay, so that to them was rock bottom, right? So then they had to level up. Like that's the beauty of when you're going through something, you will rise through it. Like you have to go through
the ashes, a
traumatic event, or
some kind of
you have to go through something that literally makes you feel like I don't even want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
To really appreciate life, and that's, I mean, I wouldn't say for everyone, but for me, everyone I've talked to that has been in that place before, they've all said the same thing, where they're like, after that, I really learned to appreciate life. The same way that there's multiple interviews with people that have jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and actually lived. Like, they've all said, it's very, very few, but it is the Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Yeah, in San Francisco.
Yeah. They've said, like, after I jumped, I instantly regretted it. And it's because you realize, like, yo, there's so much more to live for than this bullshit I'm going through right now. And it's not going to be forever. Like, it's not. There's multiple stories of homeless people fucking leveling up from there. Like, I like to call it leveling up just because it makes more sense to my mind.
Whatever makes sense to you, just don't stray away from the idea that you're trying to...
It's like God, if you don't believe in God.
Did you say God?
Yeah, it's like God. If you don't believe in God, then you say like a higher power or something. Like you have to believe in something.
I'd hate to say that I don't believe he exists. I would just say that there's something out there. Again, he might be an interdimensional being, right? An interdimensional. He has to be, because if he manifests himself, if just technically speaking, hypothetically speaking, he can manifest himself anywhere. He has to be some kind of interdimensional being that can travel at quantum speeds, right? If we're being logical, like. Yeah. The idea that hyperpositioning, where two things can be, one atom could be across a million miles away,
right,
and the other one's right in front of us, and they would be doing the exact same thing, right? Superpositioning, being in both places at the same time. He can be anywhere, right? The idea that if he's some kind of interdimensional being, he's got to be like, there's got to be more than one.
More than one God.
Yeah.
Oh.
In some ways, maybe there's the one above all. The one above all. That's what they call him. The one above all. That's what they call him in the comic books.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's true.
Yeah, but
one for all.
One for all.
I mean, he's technically God, right? He passed down all the powers to Deku.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Technically God.
We got away from the topic of the idea of being a young person and going through something.
Right.
I think like you have to be young to go through something. Because if you wait till you're 40 and you realize, oh shit, I got a lot of time to live.
You don't have that much time to live.
You don't have a lot of time to live. Because at 40, if you don't have friends, you don't have family, if you're literally alone, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And then the people you
and then your brain starts deteriorating in 5 years from there.
If you're not doing exercise, it does you do deteriorate. Yeah, your intelligence does deteriorate as you grow, and there's no way we don't know.
That's why I'm already mentally 40. That's why I'm dumb.
I'm same. I'm fucking mentally 50, bro. Call me Grandpa David. You know, I'm fucking literally. I'm slow as shit. Now, only when it comes to math. Fuck math.
Yeah, I hate math.
I hate math too. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, you were about to say that.
Look, we're getting on sync and everything. Like we're getting better at this as time goes on. 100%.
You know, but thanks again, everybody, for tuning in.
Yes.
As always, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday,
I upload the videos. I schedule them for 6 in the morning because I know some of y'all get up early and want to listen to something maybe in the background. We do that.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Right, yeah. Just I 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know most of you, don't see it until later. We promote it. We thank you for that.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far, obviously. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. When we can see who makes it this far as well. Not specifically, but the data suggests that most of you watch the first 15 minutes, you taper off, you come back, you leave, and then you come, whatever.
So if you're watching this far, you're one of the realists to support us.
We'll keep in touch with you. We'll have something. No, I've been thinking about stuff. I got some stuff in mind.
We're going to start doing some giveaways. That's what he's saying.
We're thinking about merch. We're thinking merch. All right. Something for the Founders Club. We'll call it the Founders Club.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. For the TOL crew.
TOL
crew. Throw them tees up.
There it is.
Thanks everybody again for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Peace.